Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video, and it is time for our day one patch review where we saw the massive, well, kind of massive balance patch that saw a ton of nerfs and buffs. We're gonna go over the immediate impact of what appears to be happening in the game, the public reception. There's a lot of negativity towards it, in particular a card like Tsunami. We'll talk about that, as well as the free golden pack. You might be missing it. I'll give you an update on that as well. And the shop update, there's like 2 new portraits added, I think on like Tuesday. Haven't been able to preview them for you guys, so we'll do that on today's video. And if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like, it helps us out a lot as we're on the road to 85,000 subscribers. And before we get into the news of the day, I do want to point out, every single time there's a balance patch, you should type in your search bar in the collection, refund. Look for those nerfed cards, disenchant them. There's usually no reason to hold on to it unless it's something like Zilliax, which is just always going to be good, but you can disenchant them, recraft them later. I keep the goldens because, well, yeah, I have all the cards, so don't need the dust so much, but always a good reminder to disenchant those cards. So I tweeted this out today. I just thought it was just funny. Not only was Tsunami kind of nerfed, like a lot of people are feeling it's more like a nerf at 10, right? It's way better with like the Surfheart card or Under the Sea or Projection Orb. I think you would say it's better to recast, I guess, getting that extra water amount. So that's what they were going for. But like just purely casting it does feel worse. And I said the biggest issue though is, where's the 4th elemental? There's only 3 on the art, and I gotta give kudos to Play Hearthstone. They quote tweeted me, ratioed me, and put in right there the 4th elemental, like the laziest Photoshop ever. Brilliant, love that. But yeah, there was a lot of nerfs that just kind of felt, or buffs that was like, is that it? Is that really it? Like for Hunter, all they got was a buff to Ranger Gilly, which just feels like that's not why you're playing the deck. You're not playing tourists for Gilly. You play it for the warrior cards, and the only thing that got buffed is Cleaver. Quite a bit of negative sentiment towards it. Nothing looks trending very well for those decks, by the way. Cleaver doesn't look good still. Ranger Gilly decks don't look great. But there have been some big impacts. There have been. We'll talk about that in a second. But I think a lot of people were really disappointed and shared the sentiment I had when I saw the change and just tweeted sigh for Concierge. Like, really? That's what we're doing? That's what we're gonna be doing. This tweet's got like 272 likes. A pro player, Tic Tac, one of the rare times I agree with Zeddy. I mean, I'll take the condescending compliment, whatever. But also we had Jean Bray chiming in, disappointed that this is the change to Concierge. I don't think the bottleneck for Druid is really +1 mana on this card. It's more whether they've drawn the right cards. Instead, this will likely kill Tourist Mage, which was already struggling, because Tourist Mage with their tourist card would like spam Concierge and like the spells and get Divine Shield board and all that, and that deck wasn't doing very great. Very similar playstyle, but at least he didn't blow up, you know, when they do that, whereas Druid, you blow up. And he did follow it up with, I do find it odd this is nerfed at the same time as Service Ace is buffed. The two changes go against each other in the context of Mage, which much preferred a nerf to the drink itself. So I saw a lot of negative sentiment towards it on Reddit. Again, we got like a comparison of Chalice to Nightshade Tea. One can go face, one is class with spell damage, one has the class that can generate multiple copies, one has OTK potential, and only one can kill your hero. Which one do you guess is that? Although I do think Nightshade Tea has some potential to do stuff, but obviously it's pretty crazy when you compare the two. But if we're looking at like the impactful side of stuff, I have to say, as I kind of figured, the Buttons Razzle Dazzle buff has been huge. One of the best early performing decks. We hit Legend with it. We'll have a gameplay video later today. Is the old Razzle Dazzler Rainbow Deathlight, like double rainbow. You got all the spell school stuff going on. I will say, I think in all my games, I never actually played the 5 mana buttons, or 4 mana buttons, sorry, but the Razzle Dazzler can create some absolutely ridiculous boards. I did face Concierge Druid and I got a random Greybow. They ain't getting through that, right? So there's some scams. The card is very strong. I'm wondering, as I said when I saw that buff, is it possibly too strong time will tell. But yeah, it's absolutely been a standout. No other decks really seem to be emerging early on. It's super early on. Well, the best decks video, by the way, tomorrow. I always wait for at least over a day worth of data to give you guys some deck recommendations. But the standard decks, what do you think's on top? Druid, right? Like, Druid got a slap on the wrist. The non-concierge Druids, the only nerf they got was Chia Drake, right? 1 stat point off of each thing, the health and attack, which is, again, not the driving factor of this card. It's the fact it cycles your spells and is really good at activating other dragon synergies, get, you know, super strong with Desert Nest Matron. I'm not saying it's an irrelevant nerf, but it's certainly not high impact on a deck that was already like tier 1, tier 2 before all these changes. But yeah, Rainbow DK early on is doing really well. This exact same list, I think Theo came up with it, or at least he was playing it. He got to like top 40 legend and really fun to play, can beat the aggro decks and even natural talent. I'm wondering if we should run 2. This card buff actually felt pretty strong. So I'm going to stream some more of this deck today on Ladder if you want to hang out, twitch.tv/Zeddy. But yeah, as expected, Shaman doing really well as well. Reno Shaman trending high, at least Diamond through Legend, Zarimi Priest, Aggro Paladin, but Concierge Druid, it's still sticking around. And I feel like if they need to tweak the list or whatever, it's still there. And it's really that negative play pattern, right? Like that, it's a frustrating thing. I think on the Hearthstone subreddit, I saw a really funny thing. The honest nerf to the card, increase player agency by 1 turn, like at best, right? Like that's what they did. And I just don't love it. I'm really not on board with that change. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how these numbers change over the next few days, weeks, as things get trending. If we look at Legend itself, again, this is super early on. As I'm recording this, it's been like 12 hours since the patch went live, but at Legend, Concierge Druid, Tempo Druid, Rainbow DK, Evolved Shaman performing well. Spell Mage, oh, not really performing well, 47.8%. But yeah, we'll obviously keep this up to date. We'll give you guys some deck updates, but overall, yeah, I don't know. It feels like there was a lot of changes, but not a lot of changes that really meant a lot. That's how this balance patch is feeling to me. We got some bold changes for DK, definitely with buttons and the Razzle Dazzler. Other than that, it's feeling like, yeah, what else are we doing here? I guess I will mention, though, the other, you know, thing they try to kill, Zilliax, right? With Hydration Station and Inventor Boom. I know this list, No Hands is trying out so far. Limited sample size. We're looking like 50% win rate. Some horrific numbers like Druid there. My goodness. Not sure. I haven't seen any decks doing super well with it. But I guess I'll show this image. This was the first game I played after the patch where some guy was beaming with like Cliffero and Dorian and like a full board of Zilliaxes. My first game. I thought that was pretty hilarious. But the changes to like the mass reproduction of this card do seem to be pretty effective. But yeah, maybe at lower ranks you might see it a bit more often. But it is nice that, you know, Hydration Station, Boom, aren't bringing infinite of them back anymore. So that change so far has felt pretty darn good. You also may have noticed that if you claimed your free golden pack and it just didn't appear, some people like myself just redeem the pack, doesn't appear, it just gone. Ridiculous Hat did tweet out that they have possible fix identified here for these packs. They need to test it. We'll update you all when it's ready to roll out. It won't be today, which is Thursday, so hopefully Friday, the day you're watching this video, but hopefully soon. TM, and I did say the monkey's very upset. Where golden pack. So if you're wondering where it is, as long as he claimed it, you'll get it eventually. It'd be nice to open now, but it's not really available. And lastly, we have the shop update, which has some new signature bundles added to the mix. And yeah, I bought them because I want all the signatures. I only got 2 left. I'm helping keeping the game free to play for the rest of us. Diamond King Tide was put in there, as we mentioned in our all diamond video. Was able to get that out. Again, ridiculously expensive. $60 for 1 card and 2 signatures. Again, don't buy it unless you're an idiot like me. The one that makes me the saddest, though, is this signature bundle. You get spells, Tsunami, which I guess got nerfed / buffed. We got Food Fight. You got Corpsicle, which is really good card right now. It's like $35 for 3 cards, but they're amazing. They look so good. I bought them. I don't regret it for me, but like, man, I wish these were like on events like they've done for signatures before. So that's a real bummer, but they are really nice. But only one of them's really like ladder playable. So just throw that out there. Those are there. But we also have some new hero skins in the shop, one of which I think will be very popular in the Surfheart bundle. I mean, she's got some yams on her, I'll say that much. New Shaman portrait, it's a basic one, so no big animation or animated hero portrait. So relatively on the cheaper end, $10 USD, $12.50 Canadian, 1,000 runestones. Comes with 5 Shaman packs, and she sounds and looks like this.
Fireheart versus Thrall.
For Doomhammer.
Surf's up. Ready to shred? You're pretty rad, you know. Thanks. That was sick. Uh-oh. Here comes the tidal wave.
Job's done.
Look out! Apologies. I know when I've lost.
So again, I think that one will probably do pretty well. And then we have the Skatetron one, the rogue portrait. Again, more basic. He's rocking out on his roller skates. 5 rogue packs, $10 USD, $12.50 Canadian, 1,000 runestones, and he sounds and looks like this.
MC Blingtron versus Valera.
Watch your back.
Crank up the tunes. Hey-o! Where'd you learn to do that? Thanks for rocking it. That's gnarly. Oops. I'll skate circles round ya. Damn it! My bad. You win fair and square.
So those are the 2 new portraits. I don't know if any of these ones are returning, but like we got Zombie Queen Scarlet, Lunara, Marshmallow Maiev, and all that stuff in the shop. And again, AFK is still hanging around. So yeah, there you go. Shop update, patch update, balance patch. Like, it's okay, but man, I wish they'd gone a little bit farther, especially Druid. Like the Zilliax Warrior stuff, I didn't mention that. Seems to have fallen off. That's good. But Druid to me was more obnoxious and more frustrating, at least at my MMR bracket. Be curious to hear what you guys say, because there are people still trying to make the whole Unkilliax Warrior thing work, especially Noan's Gamer. But so far, yeah, it's kind of like middling tier at best. But anyway, stay tuned tomorrow. We'll have an updated best decks video. And also later today, we'll have some Rainbow Deathlight Legend Climb featuring the good old Razzle Dazzler. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.